Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to create the Dancing Droplets bracelet created by MDL_looms on Instagram. I'll have his link down below if you want to check out his page. He has some really cool hook designs. I also have his flicker bracelet on my channel as well. This is another hook only, but this one is much easier than regular hook bracelets. We're going to just start with a single chain and then we will build off of that. So if you feel like you're not good using the hook, you might be successful making this one. So you would need a regular hook. I do recommend 2 C-clips, and I do recommend a ruler or measuring tape. I'll explain that when we make the single chain. The breakdown of the bands is approximate. So you will need about 210 to 230 depending on your wrist size and the type of bands that you use. If you use 2 colors in the middle like I did here, you will need about 26 of the fuchsia, or burgundy, sorry, I keep calling that fuchsia. The light pink, you'll need 26 roughly. Where the purple is here in the middle, you will need 51. Where the white is, 52. And 53 of the blue border. Again, that's approximate numbers, but it is close to what you will be needing. Again, you will need a ruler, 2 C-clips, and your hook. Get your bands ready, and we can get started. To get started, you're going to want to have your hook, and you're going to choose whatever color you want for the center here. I'm going to use 2, just like I did here. So I'm going to grab 2 piles of those colors. You're going to want to have your ruler or tape measure close by as well. So we are going to make a chain, a single chain, that measures 11 3/4 to 12 inches without being stretched. So that will be anywhere from 25 to 26 of each color. So we'll start by placing a cap band on our hook. I'll grab my second color, and we're going to pull this through the entire cap band that's on our hook right now. And then close off the one that you pulled through. Go back to my first color. We will pull this through and close it off. And we will keep going back and forth, just pulling it through both bands that are on the hook. It's very simple. And you could definitely use a loom to do this too. If you're not great with the hook, but you are trying this design, you could totally make this using the loom, pull it off, and then wait for my next instructions. But I am going to keep adding these on until it's long enough. Now, I'm not going to make a full-length bracelet because this is so repetitive. It's not necessary to, to get you guys to know how to make it. But I'm going to do it long enough so you will know how to make it. But just make sure yours is close to 12 inches long. So I'm going to keep adding mine, and then I will show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so your chain is going to be much larger than mine because I'm not making a full length. But when you are done, you're going to grab your ruler or your tape measure, whichever one you're using. Lay that down, and then we're going to measure it because you want it to be 11 3/4 to 12 inches. For my wrist, 11 3/4 was perfect. 12 inches was a little bit too big. So if you usually wear the same size as me, that can help you. But you're going to lay it like this. You don't want to stretch it. You want to lay it down and just let it be loose. So that's how you want to measure it. I just wanted to show you that really quick. And then you're going to want to get a C-clip. I already have mine on here. But you're going to clip the top 2 bands together so we can remove the hook without our bracelet falling apart. Once you do that, we are going to come down to the beginning. But I first want to show you the 2 bands you're going to be choosing right now. It's going to be the purple and the white. So the first color choice that I'll be using is this light green color, and that is going to sit where the purple is. And then where the white is, I'm going to use this light yellow. It's very pale. It's like a pastel yellow. But I just wanted to show you on this pink one, this is the style I prefer where both of those colors are the same. But in the video, I'm going to do 2 different colors so you can see better. So you're going to come down to the beginning of your bracelet. You want the cap band to be laying flat, like a circle facing you. like this. And we're going to be working with every other stitch. So my bracelet, I used 2 different colors. I'm going to be grabbing these 2 bands that are in here, and it will all be my light green. I'm going to turn mine a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to go into the center of the stitch, and then you're just going to come back up the next stitch. These 2 kind of separate. You can push them down out of the way, and that's what it will look like right now. You're going to grab, I'm going to bring my bands over here, sorry. You're going to grab your first color, and we're going to pull that through both loops that are on your hook right now. Reattach the other side. And now you're going to grab your second color, and we're going to bring that also through both bands on our hook and close it off. Now that was just to start the bracelet off. It will be a little different moving forward. So you're going to pick up your bracelet again. You want to make sure that you're on the correct side. So whatever side these bands are coming out of, which is right here, that's the side you want your bracelet to be on. And we're going to do that again. So we're going to enter into, and I'm holding these with my finger as I do this. You're going to enter into the light green, and then you're going to bring your hook up and come to the back of the dark green, right up the middle. Separate the 2 sides. It kind of does it on its own once you like push it down some. And we're going to do that again, but this is how the pattern will be moving forward. So my first band will always be the light green. And we're going to pull this through the first 3. And then close it off. And then we're going to grab our second color. And that will go through all 3 bands on our hook. And then close it off. That will be the pattern now moving forward. So we're going to do that again. Pick up your bracelet. You're going to go down into the next stitch, which is the light green. And then up the back of the dark green. Like so. Go back to your first color. This is going to go through the first 3. Close off the other end. And then your second color will go through all of the bands on your hook, which is 3 of them. And then close it off. Now, if you want to keep your bracelet facing sideways now like this, now that we have a couple sections done, it may be easier for you to actually see what's going on and like what you're doing. You can do that. So I'm going to go into the center of the light green and then up through the center of the next stitch, which is my dark green. And this is why using 2 different colors makes it so much easier for this design. So you'll grab your first color, and this will go through the first 3 and then close it. Your second color will go through all 3 on the hook and close it. This is how it's looking so far. We're going to repeat that. So we're going to go down into the next stitch, which is my light green, and come up the middle of the next one. We will pull that band through the first 3 and close it off. And bring the next one through all 3 and close. So I will just keep repeating this. We do the same exact steps on the opposite side of the bracelet, but I will show you that when we get there. So hopefully this instruction has been clear enough for you guys so far. So keep doing that until you have gotten to the very top. Once I get close to the top, I will come back and show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so I'm at the top. I have 2 links left, so I have to do this process one more time. I just wanted to do it on camera with you. So just like we were doing before, we're going to go down into the light green and up the middle of the dark green, which is the last one, and it has that C-clip attached to it, so sit like that. Just like we were doing before, we will bring our first band through, the first 3, and then close it. And we're going to bring our second color through, all 3 bands, and close it. And now we need to grab the band that has the C-clip attached to it. And you're going to put your hook through the entire band, just like that. We are going to take the C-clip off. And you're going to want to grab one more of this side color. So whatever the second color was that you were using. That's the pale yellow for me. And we're going to bring that through all 4 bands on the hook. Close that off and reattach your C-clip on to that for now. So you don't want to lose any of that. And now we need to work on the other side. So we're just going to simply flip it over. We're going to come down to the beginning. And just so you can see, this is the side we're going to be working on now. So if the border that you just added is facing down, this is the side we'll be working on. And you can see the dark green is now the bands that we're going to be working on this side. It's the same process. It just looks a little different from this side. So we're going to come down to the beginning. And we are going to work with the cat band this time, only for this side. So we're going to go down into the center of the cat band. And then we're going to come up the center of the light green, which will sit like that. Grab your bands. Your first one is going to go through the entire cat band. And then your second one is going to go through the 2 bands that are now on your hook. And that's just to start it. If the cat band is laying funny down there right now, don't worry about it. We'll fix that later. So as I was saying, make sure that the border that is already done is facing down. We're going to work in this direction. And we're just going to come to the next link, which is my dark green. You're going to go down into it as if you're going down all the way down, but then you're just going to come right back up the center so that those 2 dark green bands get on your hook. Just like we were doing on the other side, except now there's other bands under there, so it is easier to pick the bands up. It's just kind of weird trying to explain it, I guess. But like we were doing before, bring your band through the first 3 and close it off. Your next band will come through all 3 bands on your hook and close it off. Come up to your next dark green. We're going to go down into it and then back up the next link. So it looks like that. And we will do everything like we did on the opposite side. So we will keep pulling the first one through and then the outer one through all 3. So since it's exactly the same steps as the other side, I am going to hop off and get my piece pretty much done. Come back when we get to the top. I will show you how to close that part off, and then we will have one more set of bands to add for the border. Okay, so I wanted to come back on. I have 3 center links left. Remember, we're just working with the dark green, but we're not going to be doing those steps with the very last dark green one. So this dark green is technically the last one we're going to be doing this step with. So I'm going to do that one more time, the same thing that we've been doing. Get that on your hook. Bring your first one through. And the same thing for your last outer band. Okay, so at this point, we're not going to do anything with this green one here. We are going to put this top border band, well, top green band, on our hook. We're going to take off that C-clip. So it should be sitting like this right now. We're going to take off this first band and hold it with your left hand. Be very careful not to lose it. And you're going to now pull this first band through these 2. So pull the first one through the other 2. Bring both ends back together. Put them on your hook. It should sit like that. And now we're going to reattach our C-clip back on this band. That will be it for this section. And now we're going to move on to adding our last borders. Okay, so now you're going to decide what color you want for your very outer border, which is that blue there. So I'm going to use this glow-in-the-dark orange, and I am going to be switching to this skinny little hook, but you don't have to. You'll see why I am in a minute. It just helps me get in there to pick up the band, because we're going to be grabbing the second set of bands in here like that. And sometimes the regular rainbow loom hook is a little big to get in there. I have used it for this, but I do think this one is a little easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up to the first border link. You're going to see there's a link down here. We're not going in there. We need to go in the first border, which is my cream color one. And going in the center of there, we're going to pick up the very 2 bands that are in there and pull it out like so. And it's the 2 bands that were sitting in the center. You're going to grab your other color, your new border, I guess it will be, our outer border, and we're going to pull that through both bands and close it off. Come up to the next link. You're going to go through the opening, and we now need to pick up the next 2 pastel green bands. And it's easy, this step, but it can be tricky to get both of them on there sometimes. So you got to pick them both up, pull it out like that, and now we're going to pull our next border band through. So this is going to go through all 4 and close it off. That's what we will do all the way up. So these 2 bands right here are what we're going to be grabbing. So we're going to go into the next link. Let me face it towards me so you can see. So into this link. And you need to get down in there to pick up the 2 bands. See, it's easier for me to see it from the front. Those 2 bands. Pull it out. See, you can see them pulling through there. Grab your next border band and pull it through all 4 and close it. I'm going to switch to my rainbow loom hook just so you can see in case you don't have a skinny hook. I do tend to struggle a little bit picking them up with it, but I want to show you. So we're going to go into the next link pick up those two pale. Now you see how I'm like in the front of it? I was able to get both bands on my hook, but we need to bring it through the center of that band to make sure that that band is on the inside of the band you pulled out. I feel like I'm over explaining it at this point, so follow along. I can do the rainbow loom hook when I'm not on camera, but I hold it closer to my face. So I'm going to use this little guy for now. We're just going to keep going into the link. Get in there, get those two bands on, and then we pull the border band through all four. Okay, so I am at the top, and I just have one more link left to go through because we don't count the one that our C-clip is on. So do the same thing you've been doing and get those two on your hook. Bring my last border band through. And this is where you're going to need that second C-clip. So grab that now. And C-clip the two bands that are on your hook. And this is just to hold it in place until we get the other side done. And this is what it's looking like. So to do the other side, you're going to flip the bracelet over. We're going to come down to the beginning. We're going to do exactly the same thing we did on the other side. So come down here to the bottom. We're not going to do anything with the cap band. You're going to come to the very first outer border color that you have here. Remember, on this side it's the like pale color, the first border that we used, I guess you could call it. And just like we did on the other side, we're going to come down into this first link, which is the easiest link to go in, and grab your first two bands. We will pull that through and reattach. And just like on the other side, come up to the next link, go through it, grab your two bands, pull your border band through all four, and close it off. And you're going to do that all the way up, just like we did on the other side. So go ahead and get that side completed, and then I will come back when I reach the top and show you how to close it off. If your cap band is a little fiddly, just pull, or not fiddly, but like twist it, just pull down on it like that. Okay, so I'm at the top now. I have one link left to go. Remember, we don't count the middle one with the C-clip, just this one right here. So do the same thing that you did on the other side. Go in and get your last link done. Can't get it. There's one. There we go. You're going to pull your last border band through for this side, all four, like so. So what we're going to do at this point is grab the entire middle band with the C-clip on it. I actually just pull up on the C-clip, and you're going to put your hook through that band. Make sure the entire band is on your hook like that. Then you can remove that C-clip. And we're going to do the same thing to this one down here. So pick up the border band over here with the C-clip on it and put it back on your hook. Make sure you have both bands on there. You don't want to lose all your hard work. And then take that C-clip off as well. Okay, had to go off to do that. So this is what it looks like. We have 6 bands on here, and all we're going to do is grab one more of the outer border color, and we're going to pull this through all 6. Bring the ends together, and that is where you will attach your final C-clip. Like so. Ta-da! And there you have the completed Dancing Droplets bracelet. So I hope that this was not too challenging for you guys. I know some parts can be a little bit tricky, but I do think it's much easier than a traditional hook-only bracelet. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. A big thank you to MDL_looms for coming up with this beautiful design, and thank you for letting me do a tutorial on it. I do appreciate it. If you do make this, make sure you tag him and myself. I will have his link down below for you guys. So thank you so much for watching another video, and I'll see you all real soon at my next tutorial. Thanks, guys. Bye.